Going on, CALIVEGANs, and welcome into another episode of the CALIVEGAN podcast, the one and only calisthenics podcast to help vegan men to build muscle with calisthenics. Today I'm training push. For the one that are joining in, please start dropping some questions so we get this going. Today is going to be mainly question and answer based. So for the ones that are tuning in, start dropping some questions. And I'm going to move forward and do my first set. I'm so happy that I'm finally started to train my normal workout again. I was very tired and bored to do the strength endurance calisthenics workout that I was doing for the competition. It was very repetitive. It was mainly a way of training under fatigue and feeling the burn of the muscle, which is great, but I wasn't seeing any kind of like progress over time like I do with my usual calisthenics workout when I work towards planche and handstand push-ups and front lever. And I'm doing lower repetition, more strength focused. Again, guys, I'm going to be doing my first set. Just drop some questions. Let's get this live going, and let's go. So last week was my first week back to training, and I did one leg planche. So this week I'm going to try and go back into the full variation of a planche with legs extended. And the other thing is that the training for the calisthenics competition made me lose some strength, so I'm building back up. So I'm going to be happy with 3 seconds today. All right, there was 4 seconds. Not bad. For the ones live, drop some questions. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you want me to talk about in those lives. And see, how did I become a vegan? Is asking Rajnish Kumar. So I became vegan. So let's make a difference between being vegan and being plant-based, right? So plant-based is where you approach a diet mainly based on plants. And usually people, they do it more for all of the environmental benefits that it gets and the health benefits that you get by eating more plants. And I actually started my journey towards being vegan because of the environment. And that was 5 years ago. And then I became vegan during COVID because I realized that to create content I needed to express my values, and I just wanted to know more about veganism because I didn't research more than the environmental impact of animal products. And as soon as I started to research, I realized that it was the activists that I found, it was at the time where Joey Carbstrong, and I watched the speech from Gary Yourofsky. I realized that vegans were vegan activists were talking about the animals and not about the environment. And at the time I adopted Nina, my dog, and so listening to the activists talking about animal rights, talking about what happens to animals in slaughterhouses. It made me realize that animals are just people. They're very different from us. You know, they have fur, they're hairy, but they cannot talk, but they actually have families, they want to play, they have emotions. They can't suffer the same way as we do. So watching like slaughterhouse footage with this different view on animals, you know, made me realize how bad it is. And this is when I realized that just being plant-based wasn't enough, because it's unjust to make any animal suffer at any degree and at any quantity. And we should reduce that suffering as much as possible. And at the same time, I got motivated to become an activist, because I just like the way Jake Armstrong was doing his interviews, very direct and rational towards veganism overall. And that motivated me to be like, hey, I can do this as well. So that's how I started to get into activism. So guys, you can drop questions as you're tuning in. So I'm going to go for my next set. You drop questions. Oh. The form of this one was much worse, I believe. So, question: should we eat anything before the gym? So, should you? I think there is this kind of wrong concept overall when it comes to weight training and strength training, that you kind of need to refuel your energies, and surely, like, you need to be fueled up to do a good workout. But actually, when you train for strength, you're not moving all the time. You're not using energy consistently as you would do for other sports that require a lot more sprints within the same time. Let's say a football match, you keep sprinting and running, sprinting or running. So there is a lot more calories, energies used, and there is a lot of more glycogen used to perform those sprints. In training, you're actually resting a lot. Like, look at me, I'm doing a podcast while I'm doing strength training, because there is a lot of rest involved. That doesn't mean that you don't need energies, you don't have to be fueled up. You definitely have to be fueled up if you want to get stronger over time. But there's also a lot of people that make progress and they are working out fasted because they prefer to work fasted in the morning, and they actually eat after the workout. So you don't really need to eat anything before working out if you don't want to. It might be helpful to perhaps have some extra carbohydrates. I don't know, maybe 30 minutes before you work out, maybe a couple of pieces of fruit, 2 bananas or 2 apples, an orange, whatever is your favorite fruit, will help you get some some sugar and easy to use energies, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference overall. What's more important is that you're eating enough calories in general to feel good overall, and that's going to give you enough energy and stable energy levels to do good during those workouts. And another thing, since we mentioned about fasting, I'm going to do another set for the ones that are joining live. Drop some questions. Let's get this going, guys. I think these are a little bit too white. That's why it's getting difficult. Let's put them a little closer. Oh yeah, those are definitely too white. Look at this. I was doing white planche basically. Oof. Anyway, it does feel pretty hard. Honestly, I don't feel like I'm performing it with a very effective technique. So I'm going to add one set, but with leg extended. Right, so to add some more effective training volume. So I just said I was going to mention the fasting thing. So I get asked many times, because actually I noticed that a lot of people in the vegan community, they practice fasting, because it can be a very good tool when it comes to promote better health, I believe, and for some people it's just how they function better, just by skipping breakfast most of the time. And so I get asked, is it okay to work out fasted? And yes, absolutely. If you work out in the morning and you had dinner, your body will have enough fuel to work out. If you're going to run half a marathon, no, probably not. Probably, my girlfriend goes for a 10K run in the morning fasted, but she often says that she feels fatigued, and that's because, like, if you do 10K, you're running for an hour, you're definitely going to need a little bit extra fuel, because even though you're sleeping, your body is still using calories and energy for body functions and actually recovering, because during the sleep your body is recovering and rebuilding tissues, and this still uses energies. However, overall it's fine as long as you are doing the workout within the 12 hours of fasting, because what I have learned is that after 12 hours is when fasting really starts to deplenish your glycogen stores, and so you actually don't have fuel for the workout. So within 12 hours it's okay to work out fasted. After is not that you're going to die or going to do any damage to your body. It's just that it's probably not going to be effective in the long run, and you're going to have trouble and setback when it comes to get stronger. So for the guys that are joining in, just drop some questions. Let's get this going. Oi. So one leg. So I'm going to do 5 sets. 5 sets. So this is the thing with calisthenics. You see, you need to find sweet spots between intensity and volume, because you see, like, my full planche was okay. I think my first set was nice, but the second and third set I kind of already started to feel it harder, and I haven't seen the videos, but I think my shoulder positioning was not as good as my first one. So you have to be humble when you feel like your form is breaking down, and step back. Now there are different ways in which you can step back within your training. Like one way is just, you know, doing hybrid sets like I'm doing right now, and build the volume with hybrid sets when you're not like focusing on only one variation, but you're mixing things up. For example, right now I'm doing the full planche mixed with the one leg planche, and over time kind of trying to balance things out and increasing the volume of the full planche and decreasing the one leg planche, and moving forward this way. Or a preferred way is actually realizing, okay, this variation is a little too hard for me. I should try, you know, to base my workout on another exercise that's easier and I can focus on the technique, okay? In this case, I'm going to keep the hybrid sets because I'm kind of otherwise stuck in one of the two variations. And so I will mix things up. And again, it's important though that you track your progress. As I'm seeing, you see that's my little block notes for tracking my progress, because I will try and make progress week after week. Okay, that's the most important part. The most important part is that you are making some kind of progress week after week, and that the progress makes sense, and you're not just going like hard and trying hard exercises and breaking the form and pushing towards fatigue, because that's not going to be optimal. You always prioritize technique and do a volume that makes sense, okay? How important is cardio for calisthenics progress? I'll do for my set first. And 8 seconds again. So before answering you, I need to move you. So it's not very important actually to cardio for calisthenics. I mean, surely some sort of good cardiovascular system is absolutely going to help you. You know, at the end of the day, during the workout, you're going to play depending on your workout plan, but in general, you're always going to play with different resting times, right? So obviously, like 3 minutes resting time, like there's no cardio really involved. You have all the time to catch your breath. But when you start doing 8, 10 repetitions, 1.5 minutes of rest, 1 minute rest, or even 2 minutes rest, your heart rate goes up, you start breathing a little bit heavier, especially if your cardio is not on point, especially if your cardiovascular system is really like zero, you don't do any kind of cardio, you are going to be feeling it. On the other side of the coin, if you run, you do some sport that is moderate to intense for your cardiovascular system. Let's say like me, I do 3 times per week, I go for a run. 3 times per week I do kickboxing. My cardio is pretty good and I really don't feel tired. Like I don't feel fatigued while I'm doing calisthenics strength workouts. I just feel good. But again, if your cardiovascular system is not good and you don't do any kind of cardio, you will feel that fatigue and you will start breathing heavy during your calisthenics workout. And that's not a good sign. It means that you probably want to do some cardio because your body is not very, very efficient if you're getting to breathe heavy during a strength workout. That just shouldn't happen. Okay? On the other side, if you're like, for example, actually doing calisthenics competitions, like I was doing with the circuit, then cardio actually becomes very important because you are doing 7 minutes non-stop exercises. But again, it's not like crazy cardio that you need. It's just some basic level of cardio. For the ones that are joining in, guys, drop some questions. Let's keep this live going. Shiraz Photo says, I want to be vegan, but not able to resist non-veg. How do I say no? You say no. Like, and I'm sorry, the way I answer like this is because you may don't have the right reasons, because I think that if you have the right reasons, like if you realize that eating dairy and cheese means a cow is going to die, it means a cow is going to be raped, her baby is going to be taken away, because if you are drinking milk, if you are drinking cheese, the baby cannot drink the milk of the mom because they have to sell the milk. All right, so when I think about that, my answer to you when you say like, how do I resist non-veg? Well, you just say no, because the consequences are so bad that your benefits and your comfort don't matter at all. You know, like imagine you being the victim and someone is raping you, and the person who's raping you would be like, you know, you're just so pretty and you make me so horny, and I just, you know, I cannot say no to rape you. Would you justify your rapist? If yes, then, you know, like, it's fine. It's fair, you know, and it's you're being fair to the animals because you would be okay with being raped, but I imagine that you would not be okay. So here is another way to put it. How difficult for you is it to say no to animal products? If you would have to choose between being a dairy cow and to be vegan, which one would you choose? Like, you probably choose to be vegan, right? So just think of this. If you don't choose to be vegan, then you force the dairy cow to go through that process. Oh! So, handstand push-ups, funny ones. So, hopefully I can do 5. So, I'm also going hybrid for handstand push-ups as well. So, I do handstand push-ups, trying, you know, what I can do with handstand push-ups without assistance, and then finishing off the volume that I want to achieve in order to progress on the wall. Zero. Nice. Not gonna lie, those feel harder than usual. It can be because I've done more volume with my planche. So handstand push-ups / wall. We did 3 and 3. That's okay. All right, so guys, if you are a vegan who wants to build muscle, you want to do it from home, so you don't have to waste time to go to the gym, as well as you're bored from weight training, and you would like to learn how to effectively use your own body weight to develop functional strength and a better physique so you can be a better role model, I can help you with my CALIVEGAN program, with which I have helped more than 200 vegan men. You can go to my Instagram and see the clients' testimonials. I'll select the best exercises for your strength level and create a progression over time so you can have consistent results, a linear progress that's going to help you be more motivated and disciplined towards your workout plan. A plant-based diet that focuses on real food and plants, no supplements, and not over-focusing about protein, because the more you focus on protein, the less healthy choices you're going to make for your nutrition. And I'm going to give you all the support that you need by giving you access to me all the time through chat and doing weekly check-ins. So if you want help to build muscles as a vegan, just go to my Instagram, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics, drop me a DM saying CaliVegan, and we'll have a conversation about your fitness goals. So go to my Instagram, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics, send me a DM saying CaliVegan. Oh, do we have questions here? So drop questions for the guys that are tuning in. Drop some questions, guys. Marco Zanierato, ti faccio scrivere dalla Porgione. Marco Zanierato, guys, is an old schoolmate of mine. It's very funny that he's here, really, because we didn't stay much in contact. All right, so 3 and 3, keeping it consistent. So Shiraz, we say friends and relatives say it's important to eat vegetarian food to be strong, and moms find it bothersome to cook veg for us. It affects us over time. Look, You can, well, first of all, you tell your friends and relatives to go to my account and check me out and see if they are stronger than me eating non-vegetarian food, right? So they're likely not stronger as me. They're probably not as strong as me neither. So you can just debunk these by showing them some vegans that are thriving. And then for, I understand you live with your family, but you can find excuses or you can find solutions and be vegan. It depends from how much you care about animals. And if you don't find solutions, you are part of the problem, right? Because animals need people that stand up in any different situations, even within a family household. All right, so if you think that it's the right thing to do to be vegan and you don't fight for them, you don't fight for it, and you don't fight for the animals, you don't even try to be yourself in line with your values, that's the reason why animals are abused, because human benefits always come first. So it affects us over time. Like, does overtime justifies animal abuse? Shiraz photos. What about B12? Does deficiency cause graying? So if you think about B12, so first of all, B12 is not necessarily directly coming from animal products. It comes from a bacteria, and actually your body kind of makes it in your own body. However, it's very easy to get B12 with a supplement. You don't even have to take it daily, because most of the supplements are there's too much B12 in them. And that's it. Just don't get B12 deficiency. Buy a supplement. Ti saluta la Forgioni. Ah! Fuck. Okay, so we did 3 and 2, but let's be honest, I almost did 4 repetitions. So anyway, we go again. So guys, Marco, my old classmate, is saying that since he watched my videos, he wants to be vegan. I don't know if that's true, Marco, but the funny thing is that he started to kind of make joke about what's happening to me, so he was skeptical. So it's funny to hear that he's getting motivated to become vegan. So for the one that are live, drop some questions. Let's get this going. But you see, guys, like in my workout, there is a lot of hybrids, a lot of hybrid sets where I mix things up. And I don't know if you can see. This is how I put it. 3/3, 3/3. It means that I'm mixing up different exercises in the same set. Okay, and then over time, what I would do, for example, if I'm doing 3 handstand push-ups and 3 wall handstand push-ups, maybe next week I'm going to try and do 3 handstand push-ups and 4 wall handstand push-ups and build up volume like this to then try and reduce the amount of wall handstand push-ups that I'm doing and increase the 3 handstand push-ups. For the ones that are live, drop some questions. Marco, but do you actually speak English so well that you can understand everything I say? Or maybe my English is so Italian that is very relatable. Anyway, guys, Marco is apparently really serious about going vegan. And he said he wants to start to be a vegetarian. That's progress. You know, I don't think it's necessary to do as he says, to like taking one step at a time. It all depends from the level of consciousness that you have and the level of empathy that you have towards the animals. Because obviously, like if you realize that being vegan is wrong because you're abusing animals, but then you decide to transition and keep abusing animals at some degree, that you're kind of missing the point. However, it's progress. For the ones that are coming live, drop some questions. Let's keep this going. Fuck. Right, that's 2. So I should try to do 4. Oh, yes, that was good. Yeah, Marco, actually you are smarter than a lot of some of my followers that they will always ask me, why you don't speak Italian? Why you don't speak Spanish? And that's because I cannot confuse everyone by speaking multiple languages, even though sometimes I do it in my activism. But something that, like recently I've been talking with a new client, and he was really struggling with making progress and feeling motivated towards his workouts. And you know what I found that happens with many people that struggle with motivation and discipline towards their workout is that they don't see results. So at this point, if you find yourself in this position where you're so inconsistent with your workouts and you don't see results, then you'd be better like chill a little bit, maybe even not working out, and using the time that you are wasting during your workout to research something that's actually going to give you better results. Because if you don't see results, even though I'm a big fan of putting the reps and putting the sets and putting the work, even when you don't see results, because in the long term, whatever you're doing, it's probably going to compound and give you some kind of results. But anyway, it is less likely to be motivated if you don't see the results. So you should really try and spend some time to study a little bit more your training approach and what you're doing in terms of nutrition to increase the likelihood of you getting results. That's one thing that I always notice with the people I talk to that are not motivated and disciplined. Actually, I did the opposite. I was supposed to use this, not to go as low. Drop some questions. So that's one thing. The other thing is obviously the way you work out. Because many people like me, they come from a sport background, and even though often sports are more difficult to stick to when you grow up and you start working, life gets in the way, right? It's just more difficult to be consistent with a sport, because usually you have to go at a certain time, but at the same time you still want to take care of your health, but you really don't like the gym environment. It really does feel like something different. Everyone is doing a cue to use a machine, they're listening to music. The training itself becomes repetitive and kind of boring if you are someone that that is used to sports, like it's used to something that requires reaction, creativity, moving your body in different ways. And even though you want to take care of yourself, the gym, feels boring to you. And so understand that there are different ways in which you can train. You don't only have to do the classic bodybuilding workout when you are lifting weights and you're doing the same movement over and over. Like, this is what actually happened to me as well. I started to be bored by weight training, and my progress started to be inconsistent because I just didn't want to work out for the sake of building muscle. I wanted something that was more stimulating. And luckily I found calisthenics. Ciao Marco, ci scriviamo, piacere vederti qui. So when I found calisthenics, I found that more stimulating way of training, and I was just more motivated to go to my workout because it wasn't just about bicep curl and bench press. No, it was about different movement, learning how to move my body against gravity. And this is what actually motivated me to become a personal trainer. So, imagine what a step up I've been able to do when it comes to motivation. I decided to make it my career. And this can happen to you as well. So if you find yourself unmotivated to work out, it's probably because the way you train is something that you don't really like. So just try different things. There are different ways of training that can allow you to build muscle, build strength, and be fitter and healthier. Holy freaky. Alright guys, so activity today is very low, so I'm going to leave you here. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe. Let me know in the comment what was the best part of this podcast. If you have any questions you would like me to answer. And if you're on Instagram, leave a comment, and I'm going to do these lives Monday and Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. 12 p.m. Central European Time on my Instagram, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics. Peace.